Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of April 12th through the 18th, and I'm using a kit from Nikki Plus Three called In the Rain. I'm so excited to be part of this Spring Plan With Me collab that was put together by Leslie of Runwithcraftscissors. I will have the playlist linked down below, and I believe there will be about 10 videos. We're all going to be using April Showers themed kits, and we will be answering some spring related questions. I will have all the questions listed down below. As always, I will also have everything that I use in this spread linked down below, but if you have any questions of what I'm using, please leave me a comment and I'll be happy to answer those. If you are here from the collab and new to my channel, welcome. I really hope you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing. I am a mom of 2 boys, and I'm currently teaching preschool, mainly for my oldest, who is 4 years old. Currently, I'm mostly posting Plan With Me videos. I'm trying to catch up in this planner, but I also enjoy posting budgeting videos and videos where my preschooler does Plan With Me's. I'm more of a memory planner, so normally I would be talking through day by day, but this time I will be answering the spring questions. The first question is, do you like spring? Why or why not? I do like spring. It is one of my favorite seasons. I like being able to spend more time outside. I love seeing the flowers starting to bloom, and I really just like the fact that winter is over. Thankfully, I am not really affected too much by allergies, so I can imagine why some people would probably hate spring. The next question is, list some signs of spring from where you live. I currently live in California. This is where I grew up, and over the past 10 years, we had lived in Washington and then South Carolina. My husband was in the military, so I feel like I've had to get used to the California weather again, but we've been here a couple years now, and it feels normal to me again. But the biggest sign of spring for me is all of the blooming flowers. We have to walk a pretty good amount to get to our mailbox, so that is something I noticed right away when spring begins. And I think the time change is something that I also really notice whenever spring begins, because the days are longer, it gets dark later in the day. And since our winter isn't really that bad here, that is something that is very noticeable to me. Question number 3, what is the weather typically like during the spring where you live? Where we are in California, it tends to be pretty hot during spring, but there are also a lot of windy days. And by hot, I mean high 80s. During the summer, we can get over 100 pretty consistently, especially around August. But during spring, it is a nice, enjoyable hot, I would say. Question number 4, what outdoor activities do you enjoy doing in the spring? My boys are 2 and 4, so we spend a lot of time playing with chalk on the sidewalk. Right now, we are trying to teach the boys how to ride a bike, so I'm hoping that will be an activity that we enjoy doing. Currently, they are pretty frustrated with it. It's such a new thing to them, but we also love playing with bubbles. My youngest, Benny, is really into construction vehicles, so he loves playing with dirt and sand. We also love flying kites and running around kicking a soccer ball or throwing a frisbee. We just really enjoy spending time outside, so I think that's probably why I don't like winter as much. Question number 5, what holidays do you celebrate during the spring? Which is your favorite spring holiday and why? During spring, we celebrate Easter, Earth Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Memorial Day. I think my favorite would have to be Easter. We just have so much fun doing activities with the kids, and that was a really fun holiday to plan for in preschool. There were so many crafts to choose from. Question number 6, what is your favorite spring flower and why? I don't really have a good explanation as to why, but one of my favorite flowers is a peony. Again, I don't really know why, I just think they're really pretty. I also can't really tell the difference between a lot of flowers, so that is one that I recognize and one that I think is really pretty. Question number 7, do you do spring cleaning? What does that look like for you? I guess I do. I just don't always look at it as spring cleaning. I try to focus on one big thing every weekend, whether that be cleaning out the fridge, cleaning out the pantry, trying to declutter. Since the season has changed, I try to go through all the boys' clothes to see what fits them, what I can put away, and what I can donate. I have purchased some of the spring cleaning checklists from Sweet Koi Design, and I don't always do everything on that list, but I do try to get most of those done. I think pre-COVID, a lot of these things would have happened before a big party or get together for Easter, whatever holiday it was. But now it feels like I really have to motivate myself to get things clean and focus on one thing every weekend. But I feel like since we've moved here, we've been trying to find a spot for everything and get rid of clutter. It's been really difficult, but we are trying to work on that little by little. Question number 8, do you celebrate the changing of the seasons? If so, how? I do not, and I didn't know this was a common thing. I'm curious to see what everyone else answers. Question number 9, do you plant a garden? If so, how does this look like for you? What do you plant and how? I do not have a garden, and I haven't ever planted anything. I think I've always been afraid of being one of those people that killed everything they tried to plant. In our previous houses in Washington and South Carolina, the landscaping was really easy to maintain, and I really didn't have to do much aside from mowing the lawn and pulling a few weeds here and there. But in our current house in California, it seems like we have a little bit more room to figure out what kind of landscaping we want. Our backyard has a pool and a lot of cement, so the front yard is really where any gardening would happen. We have 2 rose bushes, and I never really had an interest in going outside and learning about all the plants in our yard until recently, because I noticed that some of the plants weren't doing so well, and I wanted to figure out how to take care of them. In preschool, since we're getting closer to Earth Day, I've been doing a lot of research on what to go over with the kids and thought it would be a good idea to try to plant some flowers. So we're going to be gardening pretty soon in preschool, and I don't want to put too much pressure on these plants to survive, but eventually I do want to do some more research to figure out what survives in our climate and how to take care of them and all of that. But I don't see myself being someone who has an actual huge garden with a ton of vegetables and herbs. I actually had seen on Tasha's Instagram from Sweet Koi Design, they had hired a company to plan out everything they needed for their garden and the rotation of all the vegetables that they like to grow. And it was pretty cool to see how easy it was with someone helping you. But our house currently doesn't really have a spot for that type of garden. Question number 10, what is your favorite springtime memory? This one was a tough one because I don't normally attach memories to the season unless it is summer and we're out in the pool or something. But one memory that comes to mind, and I know it was springtime because it was around Easter, I was pregnant with Benny at the time, and we were living in South Carolina. We came to California to visit, and no one in our families knew that I was pregnant aside from my sister, my brother, and my parents. They found out during Christmas when they came to visit us. It was just so much fun because we also were doing our gender reveal after everyone found out that we were pregnant again. I think I really enjoyed that memory because we had been living out of state for so long, and it was just nice to see everyone's reaction in person once they connected all the dots and realized that I was pregnant. Question number 11, where do you enjoy going during the spring? We try to visit my husband's family in Southern California at least once a year, and usually it's around springtime. So I think that is one of our top favorite places to go visit. I went to college in San Diego, so usually we will go back to the places that I used to visit while I was living there. And aside from seeing friends and family, we love going to the beach, and a lot of our favorite restaurants are down there, so we always have a list of places we want to go. Now that the kids are getting a little bit older, we are excited to start going to aquariums and kids museums once it's safe to do so. But right now, since we are home a lot, we just like going outside and going out to an open field by our house. Question number 12. What do you look for in a spring sticker kit or washi tape or planner? I think spring kits are probably my favorite. I'm a big fan of florals and I love the brighter colors. Generally, when I'm looking at kits, I start by looking at the full boxes, then I look at the bottom washi. Especially during springtime, I want there to be lots of florals, and it's always a plus if there are floral deco pieces included in the kit. As far as my personal style, I generally go for kits that have either pink or blue. Those are my favorite colors, so I'm always drawn to those colors in a kit. I don't necessarily have a seasonal planner, but for washi tape, if it has florals on it, I probably am going to purchase it. I remember when I first started buying Simply Gilded washi, I thought I would just need one of every kind, like one floral, one pink washi, one blue, and then once I started using the washi, I realized there's so many different shades and types of flowers that I wanted to grow my collection a bit more. But florals are definitely my favorite type of washi, and the spring washi and kits are definitely my favorite. Question number 13, what is your favorite season and where does spring rank from your favorite to least favorite and why? I would say spring and summer are pretty equal. My answer would probably change on a daily basis just depending on how I'm feeling. I really love when spring begins because that means winter is over. Winter is my least favorite season. So that combined with all of the flowers blooming make me really love spring. And summer is really special for me because we celebrate my boys' birthdays in summer. And we always have so much fun in the pool all summer long, even though it can be pretty hot in the summer where we live. I really enjoy the long summer days. So I guess as of right now, the order of seasons for me would be spring, summer, fall, and then winter. Fall really isn't too bad here, but I don't like when we do daylight savings time and it gets dark really early, and that continues through winter. Question number 14, what do you enjoy the most about doing the spring collaboration? I think one of my favorite parts of this collab is that we all get the same theme, but everyone chooses their own kit. So I love seeing the kits that everyone chooses and how they use them in their planners. We all have different planning styles and different planners that we use. So that is the most fun for me, just seeing what everyone comes up with a theme, which is April showers this time. I'm also excited to hear everybody's answers to the questions. I don't know why I always get so nervous answering these questions, but I love hearing what everyone else has to say. Question number 15, any final thoughts about spring? I guess as I was answering these questions, I also thought about the other places that we have lived, which is Washington and South Carolina, and just thinking about the differences with spring in those states. And I think South Carolina is pretty similar to California. It's pretty hot year round, except there's the added element of humidity. And there were so many different seasons of bugs that were out. They would just randomly be everywhere, and I did not enjoy that. I was in a pretty good habit of taking a walk every day, and sometimes it would just feel like a random couple weeks of swarms of different kinds of bugs. And I do not miss the humidity over there, but I do remember feeling very similarly to how I feel while I have been in California. And in Washington, I would say there was a lot more rain, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Obviously, not being able to go outside as much. I think summer was the best time to be in Washington. That would definitely be my favorite season if we still lived there. But I don't think I ever thought this much about the seasons until I tried to answer these questions. But I'd love to hear how spring is where you live. And like I said, I'm excited to hear everyone's answers. But those were all the questions that we had, and I wanted to quickly give an overview of this week since I didn't go through day by day. This week, on the day that this video goes up, my husband and I are celebrating 14 years together. This is our dating anniversary, so at this point it's not quite as important as our wedding anniversary, but it's still a special day that we like to celebrate. Right now, my husband is going through a transition at work, so he has a lot of work to do all the time. And on top of that, he's still doing his master's program. So we don't have anything planned for this day. I'm just going to be making a special dinner, one of his favorite meals. And something new that we started doing this week was that I started working out with the boys outside. Normally, I put on a YouTube video and I do a workout in my room, but for the most part, the boys don't join me anymore. They get more interested in playing during that time. So I asked if they wanted to join me in the workouts and taking it outside so we can get some fresh air, and they have been loving that. We also did some spring-related crafts this week in preschool, and I took some pictures of my sister for her graduation. She decided at the last minute that she wanted to walk because one of her friends decided at the last minute that they wanted to walk. So we had some fun walking around trying to get those pictures taken. I filmed this video a little differently than I normally do because I wasn't going day by day. I kind of put boxes all over the place, and I ended up filming on Friday, so the weekend hadn't even happened. I left some of the boxes blank to fill in as it happened, but that is all I have for this video. Here are all the leftover stickers that I have. And I wanted to show you some of the crafts we did in preschool, which were inspired by this collab. But I hope you guys check out the playlist and see everyone else's videos. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you would like. I'm so thankful to be part of this collab, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.